Hi guys. It's definitely been a while. A lot of things have changed in me and Christian's life in the last year. Some, were hard, and some things have been amazing. I got married, and it's to a wonderful man named Kevin. It's actually his work. Probably be walking in any minute. And he's been just amazing at taking a Christian and being that father role that he really needed and was lacking in his life. So anyway, just for an intro, I wanted to pick up where I left off, which was a lot of, makeup and clothes and hair and all of that. And when it comes down to it, I want to be honest and transparent with anybody that chooses to view my videos, only because I want people to see that I am a relatable person. I want to discuss some of my life struggles as well as some of my achievements, which have been amazing, but also the reasons why I am who I am, which is somebody that does not give up on things that are very important to me, that I think are important for my child. And so I just want to explain that a little bit further and how my channel will be changing, and I think for the better, because I want to really just show the real raw side of life, of family, of transitioning, of welcoming a new member to our family, any ups and downs that we might have in just day-to-day life. And I don't want to start changing my channel to that without first sharing a little bit about who I am and what my background is. So I am in my mid-30s. Christian is 5. I was born in Columbus, Ohio. I currently live in the southwest region, kind of near Dayton, and I've been here for about 10 years or so. I had a rough childhood, and I won't dive deep too much or explain too much in detail about all of that, because it can be triggering for some people, as well as it can be against community guidelines. So I just want to start off by saying that I understand the trauma of going through an abusive and neglectful childhood, so much so that I currently do not have a relationship with my mother. I can talk about that more if the subject does come up, or if it is requested on the reasons why that is. I will just say that it's okay to end relationships or love people from afar if they are toxic for you and toxic for your kids or your mental health or whatever it may be. It's okay to do that. And it took me a long time to come to terms with that, and to understand that there is nothing that I can do to change what other people choose to do with their lives. So I also am currently not speaking with my one sister whom I was raised with. We have same mother, different fathers. My father passed away the year after Christian was born. Mother and father both struggled with addiction all of their lives, and as far as I know, my mother is still struggling. My father passed away from an overdose, and I don't know the full details, but from what I understand, he was struggling for a very, very long time. So, we love him and we miss him. My sister's father is still alive. However, he has some addictive tendencies himself, with substances as well as gambling. And these are just things that, obviously we see now as adults, but as we grew up, my sister and I, we didn't understand the severity of the situation we were living in, which was uncertainty, bouncing from home to home, uh, my mom moving from relationships to relationships, school district to school district, and just trying to find some regularity in our lives. So it's always been very important to me to, no matter what, provide nothing but stability for Christian. That's like the most important thing as a parent that I wish I had, that I know it hurt me and caused a lot of the choices I made later in life to be easier to make, even though I knew they were bad. I never want him to experience that. I never want him to feel that I'm not there for him, or that his father, and that is who he is, and that is who he has been, that we won't be there for him. I'm expecting my husband to walk in the door any minute and wonder why I'm sitting here talking about something so deep. He just pulled up, so I'm going to pause this for a second. So, sorry to get off on such a heavy note here, but aside from all of the hard things that I personally went through in life, there were many great things, and I will say that because of where I'm at now in life, and because of who I am today, and what I look back on as who I once was, I can be nothing but grateful for all the good and the bad that has happened in my life, because at one point, I was this naive, timid, shy, scared girl, and that's what I was. I was a girl. Even in my mid-20s, I was so naive, and I couldn't even look somebody in the face, in the eyes, and have a normal conversation without bursting into tears. And I look back now, and I realize, that's part of my trauma. That's part of, my childhood and my experiences up until that point, molding me into who I was. And then in adulthood, I became very independent, but not before, excuse me, not before I made some extremely poor choices. And thank God, this was before I had Christian, but I made some extremely poor choices with some people that definitely did not deserve to have me in their life, because I'm a very caring, giving, loving person, no matter who I was then or who I am now. And I went through even more trauma, probably the worst trauma I've ever been through, and that would be through a very bad abusive relationship. And the abuse was a lot of gaslighting, physical, emotional, mental abuse. And to go through that for so many years, and be the subject of what felt like slavery, because no one in my family wanted to help me, and no one reached out to ask if I was okay. So at a certain point, I was so deep into this horrible, horrible place that my choices were remain there, but also remain with a roof over my head, a bed to sleep in, and food to eat, or go out on the streets and no longer be a punching bag, not just for one person, but for a whole family of people that lived in that house. And I was abused in every way that you could possibly imagine for years. And I think the worst part of it for me was the mental abuse. And if that's something else that anybody would like for me to talk about in more detail, I would be happy to do so. Again, I don't want to get into too much detail just because I don't want to trigger anybody. I don't want to upset anybody. I'm just trying to put myself in a light that no matter what any of us have been through, no matter what the internet portrays or how great the filters look or how many expensive products and clothes and whatever it is that we have, we all have something, I'm sure, that we can relate to each other on. And it makes life easier to talk about it. It makes life easier to share your story. For me, it does. Some people may not be there just yet in their recovery process from their trauma. And again, I went through this, and then I went through counseling, years and years and years of counseling. And I still, I struggle sometimes, and I find myself reminding myself that I am a fighter and I have fought hard for my independence, to be able to achieve what I have, which is, I strive so well in school, give Christian a life I didn't think I could do on my own, let alone give myself a life that I thought I wasn't capable of. So it can be done. It has been done. And some of the best people I've met have gone through very similar experiences. Unfortunately, addiction has been a part of my story. However, I will not say that I regret it, because that once again has made me, it's helped me open my eyes to the world. It has helped make me a stronger person. It has helped educate me on things as a parent that I wish I had from my mother or any parental influence as a child, to help me and guide me through a life that I had no preparation for. So it's just a little bit of an intro of my life and my current perspective on it. I grabbed some of my favorite pictures because no matter what circumstances we're in, no matter the fact that I do not speak to my mother, I love her very much and I always will. And I hope and pray every day that she has gotten the help she's needed, or will, that she will change. Yeah, so I have a picture here. It's one of my favorites. It's of Christian on his first day of preschool with my mom. It was 2 years ago. Right right around the time that I was filming a lot of my makeup videos, hair videos, clothing hauls. This was in the fall of, let's see here, 2021. So yeah, he was going to turn 4 that year. how little he was. And I believe this here was the summer of 2021. Christian had gone to Gulf Shores with my sister, her fiance, and her daughter, because her dad's side of the family has, really deep ties there. We went there when we were children. So I wanted him to have that experience, and I love that picture of him. This will always and forever be one of my favorite pictures, and it's kind of hard to figure out which position it should be in, but it is myself and my younger sister. I do not know if she still watches my channel, and things were said between us, done between us, that I don't think is right, but I don't believe that the love ever goes away for somebody that you're so close to your whole life. Sometimes I don't agree with the decisions she's made, and I'm sure she doesn't agree with some of the decisions that I've made, and that's okay. But no matter what, I'm always going to love her as well. And lastly here, my chair is broken. This is my father. This would have been either, let's see here, during high school, maybe a senior picture, or shortly after, because, and this can be another, story time kind of thing if you guys would like to hear it, because it's actually very cool how my parents met. They were each traveling to Los Angeles and lived out there for a couple years and ended up meeting there. Of course, typical story. My dad was this long-haired, really charismatic guy in a band, really good on the drums, I guess. Loved music, passionate about music, very intelligent, very, very intelligent man. And my mom was, the typical party girl, groupie, if you will. And, they fell in love and they had me. So to end this video, I just want to say in closing that all the things in my life, good and bad, I appreciate, and I don't take for granted, and I don't wish that it would have happened differently, because I would be walking aimlessly through this life, not being grateful for it, not respecting it, not understanding my worth and the worth of others, and not being this extreme fighter for the better, for myself, for my son, for my family, always striving for better. And, I've always wanted to be able to share this story and it not be a hard thing to share, but it is a hard thing to share. And I'm only discussing vague details here, but this could be an ongoing, vlog or video diary in itself. But I just wanted to share this so it can reach someone, help one person, relate to one person. And I hope that if that one person sees this and looks at the video and says, I'm where she was at 10 years ago. Will I ever get out of this? Will I ever be okay? And I just want to say that yes, you will be. And I also want to say with a happy heart that you guys will get to see a lot more of our family and real life stuff. And of course, I won't stop with makeup and hair and stuff, but I also want to incorporate real life here because you try so hard to put on this facade because that's what you see. Instagram, YouTube, glamorous people living glamorous lives, and that's not real. It never will be real. And I don't want that. And I'm happy. And we strive for better every day. Every day. So I love you all. I appreciate your loyalty for sticking around, even though my consistency with loading videos has not been there. And from here on out, I would like to create a kind of new atmosphere here, an open dialogue. And if anybody would like for me to share about specific things, I would be more than happy to do so. So I love you guys very much, and I will be seeing you very soon.